A very damaging report from the Inspector General of the Department of Homeland Security yesterday suggesting the #2 official, Alejandro Mayorkas, gave, quote, special access and favoritism to politically connected people. Two parts. First of all, why is Mr. Mayorkas still employed by this administration after an independent IG says he gave special access to Democrats?
Mr. Mayorkas is still at the Department of Homeland Security because he is a decorated public servant and an effective leader of that organization. And we certainly value the kind of contribution that he has made to the effective management of that department, and he has played an important role in implementing needed reforms in that department. In fact, he was somebody who was leading the effort to try to strengthen the EB-5 program, and there have been requests that have been made by members of both parties for assistance in trying to make that program work better. And the Department of Homeland Security has been responsive to those concerns that have been raised by members of Congress in particular in both parties. But what we have seen is the need for additional reforms to be put in place. And the Secretary of Homeland Security, Jay Johnson, has directed his general counsel to develop additional reforms that can be implemented. And certainly we would expect the department to do that under the leadership of Mr. Mayorkas.
What this independent Inspector General found was that Mr. Mayorkas was going around the normal channels, going around career officials to basically give visas for foreign investors to people who were connected with Hillary Clinton's brother, Governor of Virginia, Terry McAuliffe, and his electric car company. So how could you say this is a great public servant who's trying to reform a program that he basically gave special visas and access to politically connected Democrats? How could you say he's reforming it?
Well, to be clear, Ed, the Inspector General, who, as you point out, did take a close independent look at this, did not suggest that these individuals weren't deserving of a visa. What he suggested is merely that the process didn't work very well. And frankly, that's exactly the problem that
the special access and favoritism.
Right. And what I'm telling you is, Ed, that the questions that were raised were about how effective this EB-5 visa process works. And these are exactly the problems that Deputy Secretary Mayorkas was trying to address. And there are additional reforms that are needed, and there will be additional reforms that are implemented.
By letting Hillary Clinton's brother jump to the front of the line and
that's not the accusation, Ed. So again, go back to the Inspector General report. That is not what it said.
He's actually trying to reform it, even though he.
I think that's what I said.